for it. Okay, we can start it now. So let me share the screen again. Okay, here's the screen. So here's the example on how you do the step. So for example, I give you the question. Do you think that it is better to have a clear aims for the future, or is it best to take each day as it comes? Answer the questions straight away and give you reason why you say so to defend your topic or your claim. And also you can give an example. This can be taken from the personal fact. And the last is, if any, then you can show an alternative or the opposite of your opinion. So here's the step that you need to do. So we start it now, Mr. Alam. So this is your turn. So let's talk about questions number 1. So questions number 1 asking you about the challenges and the difficulties the people face when they try to have successful small business. So my pleasure. Yeah, just prepare your answer, then you can answer directly. Sip. Okay. Okay.
It's ready.
Yeah, okay, I can hear you. Okay. What challenges and difficulties do people face when they try to have successful small business?
So I can start now?
Yeah, you can start now.
All right. This is the questions that I don't expect to come up, but when it comes to challenges or difficulties in small business, actually there are a lot of things to be considered. The first one is probably the market itself, because if you have a small business, so it means that the market is for a small circle as well, so we cannot expect a lot of profit to continue the business. Another thing that we can probably consider is the capital of the business, because like for small business we normally have a small amount of money in the pocket, so maybe it takes a long time to grow the business. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Alam. So prepare for questions, Mr. Alam. You have time to prepare questions number 2, 3, and 4 while I'm waiting for other responses. Okay. Thank you. So Mr. Bagus, can you hear me, Mr. Bagus? Okay, that's great. So could you please answer questions number 1? So what sometimes that people face when they try to build a successful small business? What challenges and difficulties?
Oh, okay. I think it's the about the make a successful small business is good. It's good challenge to people, but sometimes it's little difficult to make a small business. But in the business, maybe we have to innovation, have a model, have team working, and have skill to management people to make a small business like that. Is the something difficult, but it's the challenge is to make it a small business.
Okay, thank you very much. So prepare for questions number 2, 3, and 4, and let me go to Mr. Agung. Mr. Agung, so questions number 1. So what challenges and difficulties do people face when they try to have a successful small business? Mr. Agung.
Okay, thank you, sir. In my opinion, I think that there is something challenge to the people who start the small business, and the challenge is the appearance of the product, So people should to make a map about the customer needs and customer interest about the product, because nowadays people have to face a new market, so they have to make a good interest about the product to influence the customer to buy the product.
Okay. So, okay, thank you very much. So, prepare for questions number 2, 3, and 4. But let me give you an example of this. So, if the question is asking you about the challenges or the difficulties when people build, when people try to build, when they want to have like a small business, I think it's first thing to consider is how to hire people, hiring people. So you need to know when to put the right man on the right place. So for example, if you want to hire like a marketing people, so you need to find out people with a broad knowledge of marketing rather than like business analysis. So that's the one. And secondly, you can I think the challenges or the difficulties that people face is how to manage money well. It is because a small business really rely on how to allocate their money well. So they need to understand the active or the passive, or how to prepare for unexpected payment. So those two areas that people need to cover. That's my opinion. So that's why hiring people and managing money wisely are two points that people with a small business need to consider. So that's the point. Okay, and let me. So welcome you for new students. So here we go. Mr. Aris, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, could you please answer questions number 1? So questions number 1 is, what challenges and difficulties do people face when they try to have a successful small business? Mr. Aris?
Yeah.
Okay, could you please answer questions number 1?
Okay, what the challenges and difficult do people face when they try to have a success businessman?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe the other.
Okay. Okay, another. Yeah. So let's move to Amos. Welcome to Amos. Good. Hello. Nice to meet you here, Amos. Can you hear me, Amos? Amos. Amos. Can you hear me, Mr. Amos? Mr. Amos, can you hear me? Mr. Amos? Can you hear me? Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Okay, now let's move to Mr. Alam again. So, Mr. Alam, so let's move to questions number 2. Let's talk about so the benefit. So how can small business benefit people in the community where the business are located?
All right, I will try. Can I start now?
Okay, you can start now.
Okay. These kind of questions that I'm not really keen on answering because I have no background about business, but so let me try to think about it. All right, so it's probably for, of course, that the small business can be beneficial for the people in the community. The first reason is because it provides an affordable product. So the people in the society can buy many products which is low cost, and
Okay.
you know, so it's good for the society. Then another benefit that can be earned by the people in the society is it will improve the economy, because you know, if we have a small business usually, so the money will just go around in the small community. So basically the money doesn't go outside of the community, so probably it will improve the society's economy. I mean,
Okay.
yes, right.
Okay, so you answered the questions. Meaning that so money allocated will be benefit to people closer to the small business. I think this is very a good idea. So just prepare for question 3 and 4, and let's move to Mr. Agung. Agung, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can see. I cannot see the video. Okay, I see, sir.
Okay, questions number 2. How can small business benefit the people in the community?
Okay, thank you. I think the advantages of the small business for the society is about the job field. Sometimes the small business can hire people around the business where the business is located. Particularly in the rural area, it may be hard to find a job there because the common job field in the rural area is like a farmer, but the small business can be a benefit for hire a new job field in there.
Okay. Okay, lost connection. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Can you continue?
Okay. Okay. I will repeat, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Okay. I can hear you.
Okay, I will continue, sir. I think the advantages of the small business of the society is about the job field. Sometimes people can get a new job and can work near from their home where is the small business located. For example, a small business in a rural area, the common job field in the rural area is a farmer. But if there is a small business located in there, people can find additional job field besides becoming a farmer.
Okay, thank you. So, and let's, okay, just prepare for question 3 and 4. Now let's move to Bagus. Bagus, can you hear me?
Yep,
Bagus?
sir. I can
Okay,
hear you.
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Question number 2.
Yeah, questions number 2.
Small business benefit. It's okay. I think is small business will make benefit to for people in the community, because people in the community get a new job and make increase the condition economy. And for example, in my field, nothing side job, and when small business like creative business, uh, people and community can join to work together in the small business and grow up the economy in the village. Like that is the, I think it's benefit of the small business in community in people.
So,
Yeah.
okay, one. So, let me talk to you. So, have you been to Kebun Bibit? Ada yang sudah pernah ke Kebun Bibit? So, Kebun Bibit close to English studio. So, someday if we have like a free time, then I'd like to invite you to go to Kebun Bibit. So, let me talk a little bit about Kebun Bibit. So, Kebun Bibit for me as a small business where let's say a local farmer send their fruits or send their fruits or a rice to the Kebun Bibit. So that's why Kebun Bibit get open like a job closer to the local environment. Not only that one, Kebun Bibit also improve locals' family income because they collected all the fruits and also the rice from the farmers around. So this small business help local to grow together. This is examples of answering questions number 2. So Mr. Aris, can you hear me? Mr. Aris? Mr. Aris, can you hear me? Mr. Aris? Mr. Aris, can you hear me? Mr. Amos? No. No one speaking. So okay, now let's move to ask questions number 3. And questions number 3 is all about, so what kinds of small business are most popular in your country? So before answering the question, small business can be like local shop, or maybe local chain shop like Indomaret or Alfamaret can be one of the example. And also because we now stay in Kampung, Inggris, Pare, so one of the small business that easy to notice is English clubs or English courses is one of the small business, the most popular in Kediri Regency. So what else? Let me think of laundry, bike rented. So what else? Let me give an example. So let's say a small restaurant. This is kinds of small business that are popular in our regency. This kind of small business can be used as your example, or can be used as your ideas when you answer questions number 3. So okay, let's move to Mr. Alam. Mr. Alam, questions number 3 is your turn now. Okay, sir, feel free.
Okay. When it comes to small businesses that are popular in my country, I would say that there are 2 kinds of businesses. The first one is franchise.
Okay.
Franchise business, because it is because the one who have money just directly put the money to the owner of the franchise, and the franchise will manage everything. So this kind of stuff is really popular because of it's easy to establish. What you need to do is just to have money in your pocket and then pay some certain amount of money to the owner, and they will as long as you have a building, so they will provide everything. They will provide the products, and they will train the employee. So basically, yeah, all you need to do is just to have the money.
Okay.
Another example is traditional food seller. I saw from my observation throughout my hometown, there are a lot of traditional food traditional food sellers. It's because, you know, like food is the basic needs of a human, so it doesn't need too much advertisement to promote. So especially when you have traditional food next to the office, so you know, like the most of employees will go there and eat there. It's because cheaper, and you know, like there is a tendency in my country that lots of people are keen on eating traditional food rather than the junk food because of health a purpose.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now let's move to, so prepare for questions number 4. Now let's move to Mr. Agung. I welcome to Mr. Amos. Can you hear me? Mr. Amos, can you hear me? Mr. Amos, can you hear me? Oh, Mr. Amos, can you hear me? Okay, now. So now let's move to Bagus. Bagus. So what do you think about questions, the next questions?
Yeah. Okay, I think it's much small business is popular in my country. You know, like a little restaurant and rental car and rental bicycle and another. But I wanna talk about the little restaurant for example, in my uh, hometown in Solo, and is the name Angkringan. Angkringan is the small business and popular in my city. Is because so much angkringan in the road, and the is the cheaper of food, and money money of kin of food like his name fried no rice nasi kucing like that, and another is a good small business and popular in my country.
Okay, thank you. So just prepare for questions number 4. Now let's move to Amos. Mr. Amos, can you hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, that's great. So can you see the questions number 3? Talking about small business are popular in your country?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think about questions number 3?
Well, this is interesting questions. I think popular business nowadays in my country is online shop. It is because I think everyone didn't need to have like high income to create this business. So everyone just need a creativity and they can create this business. So I think it's not a big businessman have this business, but anything. For the example, on my in my hometown, my friend is just my friend uh, has business through his Instagram because he has many followers. So he just try to make a small business, but now it's literally become a big business in my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah, he's selling like some merchandise or some handcraft. It's originally from my hometown, and I think it's has a good impact.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want you to prepare for questions number 4. So why do some people open their business? I'll be back to you then. Yeah, for questions number 4. Okay, now let's move to Mr. Agung. Mr. Agung, so what do you think about questions number 3? So what kinds of small are most popular?
Okay, sir. Thank you. I think that the most popular on my taste now is about the bookstore. This is because Indonesian, almost of the province and the region have a university in there. So the city always provide the society provides a bookstore and make this a small business for the students. So people can easy to get new reference and resources to study. So this is one of the famous small business on my country.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. A very good responses. So now let's move to questions number 4. So questions number 4 asking us about why do people open their own business. So I think for me, so more reasons to do so. So one of them is they want to have their own extra income. Let's say for retired people. For retired people, so they rely on their pensions, but if they can build like their own business, so they will have an extra income. This is maybe one of the idea. Also, people build their own business because of they want to help other people. So they want to help other people. Let's say talking about English courses in Pare. So I believe that a majority owners of English courses they build their own business in order to help people to speak English or maybe to write or maybe to improve their English. So another reason is can be like to to want to have like experiment It is because if we have our own business, we can experience everything that we want. So while reading like a business book, what we have from the business book, where it can be easy to apply with our own business without getting afraid of making mistake. Maybe this is an example. So, but let me hear you from your point of view. So, questions number 4. Let's move to Mr. Alam. Why do some people open their own business? Yeah.
Talking about the reasons why some inhabitants prefer to open their own business rather than working for someone as an employee. At least there are two things that I could probably say, that I could probably think of by now. The first one is because it's easy to control the money. You know, if we have like our own business, so all the money will be managed by ourselves, and you know, we can control where the money goes and how we plan budgeting and how we spend the money in the right way. That's probably one of the reason. Another reason is because it's easy to control time. If we work for someone, we need to follow someone the employer rule. Like we need to come at 7 o'clock in the early morning and come back probably 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This is definitely not an easy way. It's an easy job for some people. You know, like some people prefer to be some people maybe they are not a morning person, so they prefer to work in a more flexible time. And when we have our own business, all we need to do is just to manage everything by ourselves, especially like time. We can do the work whenever we want. Yes, that's I reckon two things which is crucial in terms of the reason why some people prefer to open their own business.
Okay, thank you very much. So now let's move to Bagus. So what do you think about questions number 4?
Okay, thank you very much. I wanted to try answer this about some people open their own business because I think many reasons why the people make a business. Firstly, I think a passion, especially for important to someone to make a business. When you not have a passion to make a business, it's so difficult because every day is so much maybe something too hard to make it. And number 2, I think is increase economic level. For example, for me, when I'm still working in the with another, I just get this money. But when I make something business and business is success, and get much money more. And another is times. I can schedule my time to myself and my business and my family is so good for the businessman. Why businessmen make it on business like that. And maybe another in Indonesia is very easy to sell product. Like for example, we are to try to sell a source or another. We can just upload in internet, Instagram, and website, and Facebook, and another. Is so much marketing in Indonesia. I think it's good for the business make business in Indonesia. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. So thank you. So now let's move to Mr. Agung. Mr. Agung, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you think about some reasons people open their own business?
Okay, I think, in my opinion, the reason people who want to make their own business is about the awareness about the phenomenon in the society. For example, There's people make a tumbler store for decrease plastic bottle for decrease consuming of plastic bottle. So because there is a high rate of the garbage from the bottle plastic, so people want to make uh, a society use a tumbler for decrease plastic bottle. As a result, they build a shop about a tumbler.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So the last, let's move to Mr. Amos. So what do you think about questions number 4, Mr. Amos?
Yeah. For
Yeah.
me, personally speaking, I think there are 4 things that make people. I mean, the reason why people want to start their own business. The first thing is entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs can work for themselves. It is because, in fact, that they can be their own boss, and yeah, they're looking after themselves, intends for being observed by hires up. And the second is entrepreneurs want to be more hands-on. So in fact, that they can build something from scratch. So when you are in your own boss, you feel sense to satisfaction. Satisfactions, and when you accomplish something, if you don't meet like under someone's content. And the third is, I think entrepreneurs want more money, so they need like more income. And because money is not everything, but everything has need money, so money is another factor in employees decisions to take their new career as an entrepreneurs. Perhaps a person's current job doesn't pay enough or something. And the last is, I think entrepreneurs want to take on additional roles. So small business owners don't fit into uh, on one job descriptions. So they are don't wanna under how to say under intimidation. I think my manager or something, the head of the office or something. So I think there are 4 things that the reason why people want to start their own business.
Okay, okay, everyone, thank you. So as you can see, so we have answered questions related to a business topic. So make sure that you need to get used to with all topics offering in IELTS. So questions number 1. So just a quick review. Questions number 1 asking you about challenges and difficulties when people try to have their own small business. That's the first. So questions number 2 asking you about how small business a benefit to people around. And questions number 3 also asking you about uh, what was that? Asking you about small business and wait, and where's the camera? Okay, that's great. And the last question is the reasons why people have their own business. So now let's move to another questions. So let's talk about services. So here's the questions. Wait. Okay. Okay. Here's the question. So we have 6 questions to answer. Hopefully we still have more time to do. So questions number 1 asking you about which one to have a better service. It is large shop or a small shop. Let me give you a few insights about that one. If you are being offered this kind of questions, whether you need to answer a large or a small shops, I think you better to explain why you answer that large shop is better. So you can talk about large shops have like a standard operating procedure. The is, or well known as a SOP. The SOP is a guideline to help them to operate their shop. While in a small shop, I think they have helpful staff. They're easy to manage the shop because small shops only have a small environment. So, but in the end of, you need to choose your preferences, whether you choose a large or a small shop have a better service. So that's the answer. I mean, that's a few insights to answer questions number one. You need to express your idea why you say a large shop, and secondly, you need to also describe why small shop have a service better. And the end, you need to choose your own preferences, whether you choose a large or you choose a small shop. I think this is one of the idea to answer. Okay, so let's move to Mr. So let's say Mr. Ahmad. Can you hear me, sir? Sir? Hello? So let's move to Mr. Alam first. Mr. Alam, questions number one.
When it comes to large shop and small shop, in terms of which one give a better service, I would say that small shop normally gives a better service. Yeah, I know that the answer is probably unusual, but this is because I've got experience buying things in large shop and small shop. I've been to a small shop because I've been to small shop and they give me a very good service in my opinion, and that's probably because they have just just a limited number of things to be managed, so they can focus more on the service rather than managing a lot of products and or focus on something else maybe. Large shops, however, because they have a lot of things to manage, especially like financial issue, and then the products, and so sometimes, or in most cases, they don't give full attention or much attention on how to provide a good service to the customer.
Okay, good. Thank you. So just well prepared for questions number two. So what sometimes people do when they get like a bad service. Okay, Mr. Alam, I'll be back to you then. So now let's move to Mr. Amos. So what do you think about questions number one, Mr. Amos? So which one do you think have a better service? Large one or the small one?
Well, for these questions, I think I prefer to choose a small shops. It's unusual, but based on my experience, when I buy clothes in a small shops, which is in online shops, on that moment I got good service if I compare with the large shops, because it is because I think for me the small shops just do anything good to become a big shops, but if we're talking about a large shop, they just exist with well known and famous, so they just retain how to still and how to consist be the large shops. But I think in small shops they do anything to serve, like first of all, the small the little instance is when I went to small shops, they serve me with water and give me a cookies or something. But in a large shop, but in the large shops, they just ask me what did I need and just looking for the thing. So I prefer to choose a small shops.
Okay, okay, thank you. Good, very good responses. Just well prepared for questions number 2. So what sometimes people do when they get bad service. Okay, thank you. Let's move to Agung. Agung, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what do you think about questions number 1?
Yeah, I think it depends on the concern of the shop. Sometimes the owner or the management concerned about the products, how to make a good quality products. Sometimes concerned about the service. But basically, the larger shops have a management review or an annual review to see to evaluate all the all the officers and how to the officers treat the customers. But in contrast, small shop still need experience about uh, how to manage the organizations, how to make a good a good archive about financial and something like that. So I think the good services is best from the larger shop because they actually have a management review and to evaluate the officer.
Okay, okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Good. So I prepare for the next question. So now let's move to Bagus. Bagus, so what do you think about? So which one do you prefer?
Yeah,
So
yep,
large, small. Okay.
yep. I think it's better is a larger shop because the large shop is have a good management and another is have a standard procedure standard to managing to service a customer and for another is have a good facility like parking shop and have a CCTV and maybe air condition, yeah, AC in the shop is goodly for the customer. So I think it's the better larger shop. Yeah, larger shop is better. And for the product, I think in the larger shop is many products, so customer can choose something he need when maybe in the small shops when I um, try to yeah choose the something product but something is not in here but in a larger software it's a many product in the larger shop yeah
Okay.
I think
So
better
the way you pronounce a product, not product.
product
Okay, that's great.
product
So the question is asking you to express your idea which one has a better service. So whether it is a large or small. So I think if I were you, then I'm going to explain too. So discuss a small shop. So why small shop, and also followed by a large shop, and in the end of I choose my preferences. So like I saw you for the previous example. Okay, now I'll be back to you then. So now let's move to Mr. Ahmad Fauzi. Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? Wanna try? Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? No? Can you hear me, sir? No. Okay, if it's not, then I'll move to the next questions. So the next question is asking about what do people when do get bad service. So what do people do when they get bad service? So many ways to do. So they sometimes a voice for their complaint. They write a letter of complaining and send it to the newspaper, or maybe send a text, or maybe meet the owner and say directly the complaint. So many more to do. So you can choose one of them and express your idea. So what do people do when they get bad service? So next, Mr. Alam, this is the last questions, everyone, because it's more or less 1 o'clock. So this is the last question. So after your turn, you can leave this room earlier if you think that you need to do so. So we can start it now with Mr. Alam. So Mr. Alam, so what do people do when they get bad service?
When the people get bad service in my country, the people normally ask for refund. Yeah, taking my experience as an example, when I get inconvenience service from the shop or any, you know, any whether online shop or something, I normally ask for refund. What yeah, I probably, for if it is online shop, I will call directly to the customer service, and I need an explanation why you give a poor service to the customer, and it is not, and which is contradictive with what you advertise. So yeah, when it comes to, like, if we have like a physical shop, I normally go there and meet the owner and ask for refund.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah, uh, that's probably that's something that the people normally do in my country if they get bad service.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Some of them, they do not want to go to the physical shop. They prefer to post their complaint to the social media. Okay, that's some time. So, okay, thank you, Mr. Alam. So now let's move to Mr. Amos. So what do you think about questions number 2? So when people get bad service, what do people do?
Okay, I think in my country, when people get a bad service, for instance, in a restaurant or something, they will complain directly. They will say, especially, for example, in the restaurant, they will call the waiter and just ask about something, what just happened to something. But again, it's depend on the situation.
Okay.
For me, I'm a very patient and laid-back person, so I don't mind waiting usual. And if the service is low, slow enough for
Okay.
even me to notice, I also check the whether the restaurant is especially busy of if there is some other legitimate reason. So yeah, because I think I always tip well. I don't especially like the practice of tipping, but I understand the service industry pay structure is built on it. So I think we have to get what that we have done.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Very straight to the point. So, okay, thank you very much. So now let's move to Mr. Agung. Mr. Agung, so what do you think about what people do when they get that service?
I think I always see the complaint in the society who had the bad treats from the provider business. So they directly record, like video recording or a sound recording, or take a picture in there, such as Lion Air always make bad services to the customer, so the customer always record and post it in the Facebook, so the people in other place can see how bad this company treats and give the service to the customer. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Bagus, so what do you think about questions number 2? So I would like to hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's the same to all people when they get the bad service. Firstly, complain. I think directly complain or in the social media is make a review in a Google Plus or in the website. And number 2, maybe like when I'm buy a product in online shop and it's not good product, it's usually is can get a refund like that. And is the judge, I think, not come back again in the shop, yeah, because it's have a bad service. Yeah, just like that, I think.
Okay, thank you. So now let's move to Mr. Fauzi. Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? Sir? Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? So I cannot even hear you. So I think so. Mr. Ahmad Fauzi, can you hear me? Because I'm going to offer you questions. Okay, I think we still have a lost connections with Mr. Fauzi. So it is because it's more or less 1 o'clock. So I think we need to end the class. Thank you very much, everyone. So we have a very nice practice today, although we only have a 1 minute talk. And okay, and okay, see you for the next time. So tomorrow I will conduct for another speaking section. Thank you very much, everyone. Dada, take the picture. Take the picture first. Chapter it and send it to the group. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.